This is where it all started off 4 years ago, and then went to ARIC, and the finished product is, from what we learnt from it, is the new Cannington office. And the plans by 10th of March 2014 to have 5 of those operational. It was my second ARIC, and John had a talk, and then he popped up this, pretty much what you see here, this picture on the screen, and I rang him and I came back and I said to the guys in the office, we're going to create this. And they all looked at me and said, you're nuts. And I sent John an email and said, look, do you mind if I have some of those pictures that you had up on the, and he said, yeah, no problem, go for your life. And this is now what we've created. And the thing I like about it, and the thing that I suppose resonates with me, is Bob Wolf said in the first one that I went to see, to be in the top 2% you've got to do things differently and start reading non-fiction books. Now, until then I'd actually never read a book from cover to cover. And then met Dr. Fred, and him and Victoria bought me a book called The Alchemist. I read that, and sort of all started from there. And the really cool thing now is this is done for the very point of view that no one can hide, and agents too often, you know, tend to bend some rules and don't actually want to front clients sometimes. If they've got to do that, I wonder why they're in the industry, and we make it so that any client can walk in here and see any agent anytime they want. The reaction's been surprisingly good. That's, you know, we've put a lot of hard work into it, and everyone's commenting on, like, where did this idea come from? What's the whole concept? Where are all the pictures and the window cards? And, you know, our theory is, well, you should be able to see in and see out, and the window display should be the marketing that the company does for the client at the end of the day, not sticking a card in a window and calling that marketing. Fill this up with some really quality reps, or agents as they're called over east. That's our challenge now, is finding good people. We're not going to do it at 1,000,000 miles an hour, we're going to get the right agents that actually want to make this a career, not just something to make a bit of a lifestyle and a few dollars on the side on. Biggest challenge at the moment would be recruitment, I'd say, in finding the people with the right mindset. And then getting them in here and getting them to a point where they can actually believe that they can earn 250, 500 and then up to $1 million GCI a year. You know, I went over and saw that happening in Sydney and went, this can be done, other people are doing it. You know, we got Matt Steinway's discs and listened to them and looked at what Matt was doing and went, let's go and chase it. You know, and as McGrath's found and shown us, there's, you know, team upon team over there pulling those figures every day. It's become the norm, not the exception. Over here it's more the exception than the normal, and there's plenty out there. The market, as far as we're gone, some agents are having a hard time. It's all between your ears. Wonder where I heard that from, eh? But yeah, look, we've had another good year. You know, myself, I sold 89 homes this year, and the team, we sold, between the three of us, sold 148, I think, or something, for a gross commission of just under 2 mil. So it's, you know, and we've done that consistently for the last 3 years. Now we want to get that up to the 4.5, 5 mil mark. That's our target now. I'd say the biggest challenge we'll have is in the industry would be competing, or offices competing against the .coms. I'd say, because if they're not doing any marketing and they're just saying you've got to stick it on the internet, well, all of a sudden there's not much use left to us. You know, and we're seeing a lot of it here. Fees getting cut left, right and centre, and it then doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, if you're just going to stick me on the internet, I don't need you. And then the .com companies will market direct domain, are already doing it. and I see realestate.com looking at doing online auctions and things like that. Ultimately, the agents will do themselves out of a job unless they do what we've done, like create the magazine and get it out there and get it into people's letterboxes. Well, that's been one of our biggest tools. It's astounding how well that's worked. The industry had one of those over here and pulled it off the market last year, and we shook our head and went, why? People still love to sit down with a cup of coffee and flick over the pages and go, one, I'd love to see my house advertised like that. Secondly, I'd like that house, let's go and have a look. You know, real estate's still emotion. I don't think it'll be the demise of agents, the internet, because the biggest thing that it doesn't get is the emotional side. That's what I think, you know, real estate is the biggest thing that, you know, share market has been demised, you know, how they operate has been completely changed with the internet. I don't think real estate will get to that point, but agents need to be aware that if that's all they're going to offer, well, they will put themselves out of business, because why would Mr. and Mrs. Smith pay a commission to you when they can stick it on the net for $1,000 and have their sign sent to them and some display cards? You know, there's more to it than that.